Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 36. Yushi left in a rush. Zhongyuan watched him leave as he spent a long time holding in his laughter. Fine. Once every 10 days, was slightly better than the cowherd and the weaver girl. Zhongyuan slowly made his way back. When he finally reached his destination, Xianjing and the others had already been asked to go elsewhere. Afterwards, Zhongyuan was careful to avoid them. He didn't encounter these people again. What did Xianjing want with him? Zhongyuan felt restless as he held onto the paper ball Lin Si had given him. The third week after Third Prince's passing, he asked someone to summon Lin Si. But 2 days had passed and Lin Si still hadn't come. Zhongyuan dispatched the people he had in the capital to investigate in secret, but before he could get any results, Lin Si came. As usual, Lin Si entered the estate after nightfall. Zhongyuan saw that his expression looked normal, so he slightly relaxed. The two of them entered the inner room. Zhongyuan poured a cup of tea for Lin Si. Lin Si hurriedly accepted it with both hands. He set the cup down and signed, "The last time I came here, I didn't hide my tracks well enough. Fourth Prince found out." Zhongyuan's expression changed. Before he could speak, Lin Si hurriedly added, "Master ordered me to hide the information about young Prince Yu. I had no other option and could only go along with this and tell Fourth Highness that the information from Fifth Highness had been blocked by Master. I came to you, seeking the information but to no avail. Which was why I made that trip and why all my attempts at finding out information about young Prince Yu have been fruitless." Zhongyuan burst into laughter. "I was wondering why Xianjing wanted to meet with me out of the blue." Lin Si looked extremely apologetic. He gestured, "It was because of my carelessness that caused Master to get dragged in." "No matter. It's not like Xianjing doesn't know the relationship between us. Besides, I'm not scared of him." Though Xianjing and Yushi were sworn enemies, he had a bit of a relationship with Zhongyuan, complicated as it may be. The two of them hadn't met in many years, but they wouldn't actually fight over nothing. Zhongyuan was largely unbothered. "Last time, I was eager to find Yushi, so I forgot to tell you some official business. I'll just tell you everything now." Zhongyuan paused. "Ever since I've arrived in the capital, you've mentioned Yushi's identity to me several times. This information was discovered by Xianqiang and subsequently found out by you people, correct?" Lin Si was perplexed, but he nodded. "So are you actually taking the easy path by following behind Xianqiang, or?" Zhongyuan became silent for a few moments. He asked, "Or are you only finding out what Xianqiang wants you to find out?" Lin Si's expression slightly changed. Lin Si pondered a bit before responding with sign language, "Fifth Highness might not be capable of creating such a ploy. I'm not talking about him specifically." Zhongyuan smiled. "It's true that Xianqiang is useless, but there are most likely a few intelligent people surrounding the useless ones, right? Previously, I didn't think anything was wrong and was also preoccupied by Yushi, so I didn't have time to take other things into consideration. But now that the frequency has increased, I keep feeling like there's a hand behind me pushing me forward towards certain direction. It makes me I feel a bit annoyed." Lin Si furrowed his brows. He signed, "Master suspects that someone is using Fourth Highness as a sword." Zhongyuan was uncertain. "It's too early to tell now who the sword is. It might be Xianjing, it might be you, it might also be Yushi. Third Prince is dead. Right now, Xianqiang and Xianjing are both waiting for the other to start feuding with Yushi so they can benefit. You have stayed behind Xianqiang the whole time. This situation seems a bit off." Zhongyuan's brows were tightly furrowed together. "Yushi's identity is a key to the fight for the throne. Everyone wants to know it, so as soon as any bit of information is leaked out, Xianjing and Xianqiang will both obediently start following that lead. That's too passive." Lin Si's expression became conflicted. He gestured, "After all, This is related to the title of Crown Prince. As soon as fourth prince heard that it was related to young Prince Yu, he became absurdly vigilant. There's no persuading him out of it. Zhonwan pressed his lips together. Not only him. Even I. Lindsay paused. He signed, what does master want to do? Do you want to investigate too? An idea struck. Lindsay furrowed his brows and gestured, or, do you want to kill all witnesses? Zhonwan's intentions became exposed. He smiled. Xianjing and Suan Qian were investigating Yushi to get a clear understanding of the events of the past. But Zhonwan wanted to erase all these old traces completely. For Zhonwan, it didn't matter who Yushi's father was. Zhonwan said, don't worry. Rest assured that I won't harm Xianjing. Right now, I just want to know who has been pushing me forward along this path. Zhonwan looked towards Lindsay. After sharing his concerns previously, he added, don't you people ever thought that things were a bit strange? Why would Yushi have uncovered such an important secret at such a young age? Lindsay had no clue. Zhonwan was troubled. With a brain like Xianjing's, how could he fight for the throne against Xianqian or Yushi? Zhonwan softly said, but the issue of Yushi discovering the truth and becoming temporarily unable to accept it is one thing. Could it be possible that all his behavior after that was intentionally guided by someone? I asked Steward Feng of the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate to help me investigate what had actually happened the first time Yushi had encountered Han Shi-san. Zhonwan paused and pushed down the intense emotion threatening to swell up. Steward Feng said that the first time Yushi learned of that thing was at Xianjing's estate. Lindsay froze. He hurriedly shook his head and signed, Fourth Highness definitely hasn't eaten that thing before. Of course he hasn't. Something dark flashed through Zhonwan's eyes. It was a servant on his estate. One day, he bumped into Yushi in a daze. That person didn't seem in the right state of mind, his gaze was unsteady. Upon seeing this, Yushi became confused. He asked the person next to him and that person explained. And then, Yushi started consuming Han Shi-san. Lindsay hesitated for a moment. He signed, Master, allow me to be straightforward. If young Prince Yu hadn't wanted to eat something of his own accord, no one would have been able to force him. Zhonwan knew that this blame couldn't be pushed onto Xianjing, but he still said, however, what if someone had known that he was in a terrible mood and purposefully told him that eating Han Shi-san could temporarily alleviate such sorrows? Yushi couldn't have not known that it was poisonous. Him wanting to commit suicide is one thing. Outsiders handing him a knife to do so is another thing. Lindsay had nothing to refute this. He gestured, I don't dare to confirm anything, but Fourth Highness is straightforward in his actions. I'm afraid he most likely isn't capable of doing such a thing. I didn't say Xianjing did it. Zhonwan lowered his voice and continued, that time, to keep me in the capital, Steward Feng told me that Yushi had once visited Xianqian's estate to watch a snake charmer performance. He clearly knew that the snakes were poisonous, but he still held one in his hand to play with. He got bitten on the arm by that snake. Zhonwan looked at Lindsay. At the time, I didn't think too much of it, but thinking carefully back on it, the situation seems extremely strange. How bold must that snake charmer had been to perform with poisonous snakes in front of the sons and relatives of the emperor? Lindsay paused, so Fifth Highness permitted him. I remember at the time, Steward Feng said that Xianqian got scolded by the emperor afterwards. Zhonwan lowered his gaze. This happened so long ago in the past that it would be impossible to conduct a complete investigation. The truth has long since been buried. Lindsay thought about it and signed, if young Prince Yu desired to commit suicide, an indefinite amount of people would definitely aid him. After all, he was in the way for a lot of people. I understand, but I still feel angry, Zhonwan added, forget about that. Right now, I only want to find out who is adding fuel to the flames. Lindsay, I want to start with Xianqiang. Zhonwan slowly stated, I don't want to keep following Xianqiang's trail and eating his leftovers. Lindsay felt pained. He gestured, you are determined to get tangled into this mess, right? Zhonwan smiled. It's not that I want to get tangled in, it's that. Never mind. I can't explain clearly. I have a few people in Xianqiang's estate too. Let's try, Zhonwan said. Either way, enmity already exists between them. There's nothing else to fear. I want to first get the few servants who once served at the royal mausoleum out. Lindsay's heart squeezed in shock. He signed, how? Borrowing a sword to kill. I have a plan. Zhonwan lowered his gaze. In a subdued voice, he asked, say, would old imperial preceptor she have known about these things? Lindsay didn't understand why Zhonwan was suddenly bringing up Shi Jin. After a short pause, he signed, according to his age, he might have. But the old imperial preceptor has passed for many years already. Why is master asking? Before he passed, the old imperial preceptor once sent me several letters. He left me some people. Zhonwan scoffed at himself. I'm a disappointment. The old imperial preceptor feared that I would get accused again in the future, so he left some people to help me stay alive. But since they're the preceptor's people, they might know some old information. Zhonwan took a deep breath. There's too little information from Xianqiang's side. And, the information can't be entirely trusted. I might be able to find out some additional things from the old imperial preceptor's side. It would probably be impossible to stop Xianjing from stealing information from Xianqiang. However, remind him that he should take things with a grain of salt. Zhonwan spoke incredibly quickly. Someone wants to use Xianjing as a sword, but who's to say that no one wants to use Xianqiang as a sword as well? Lindsay signed, Master, if you manage to gain young Prince Yu's trust in the future. Zhonwan burst into laughter. Then certain things would become much easier. Lindsay continued to sign, if anything happens in the future, I'd like to ask Master to ensure Fourth Highness stays alive. Zhonwan smiled. All right. The next day, Xianqiang, who had given the excuse of being sick to stay home, was in a great mood. She ordered the servants to make some local Qianan pastries. They were of all shapes and sizes, varying greatly. Zhonwan had just made contact with old imperial preceptor Shi's people. As soon as he got back to the estate, he saw the table full of intricate pastries. He smiled. How come you suddenly thought to make these? Xianyu misses eldest brother and home. Yesterday, he started crying when no one else was watching. Xianqiang couldn't take watching her brother cry. She was someone who was firm in speech but soft at heart. I wanted to make some Qianan food and cheer him up. A smile appeared on Zhonwan's. Did you succeed? Xianqiang nodded while laughing. She added, I was scared that you would be homesick too, so I made extra. These are for you. Zhonwan smiled and bit back the comment, Qianan actually isn't my home. He sat down and very supportively tried each pastry. He praised, normally I don't feel this way, but after so many months without eating these, I actually find that they truly taste good. While eating, Zhonwan said, can I pick some out to give away? The corners of Xianqiang's lips curled up slightly. To give to young sister-in-law. Zhonwan smiled but didn't answer. Xianqiang was too shy to ask further about such a love affair. She left and personally picked out an intricate box, then ordered a servant to bring it to Zhonwan's courtyard. Zhonwan had someone bring it to the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate. Before 4 hours had passed, it got returned, unopened. Zhonwan furrowed his brows. What was Yushi trying to say? That he refused to eat Zhonwan's gift? Is Yushi overly wary, or does he not trust me? The family soldier returning the box of food was very tall and largely built. Zhonwan kept feeling like he had seen the other before. He hesitated, then asked, "Does young prince you not want it?" "Young Master Zhon, don't be worried." The family soldier placed the box on the table with both hands and took 2 steps back. He bowed and said, "Our heir said that the time limit of 10 days hasn't come yet. Young Master Zhon mustn't contact Yu Shizi of his own accord." Zhonwan. He had already forgotten about the once every 10 days agreement. Yu Shi hadn't only been joking? Zhonwan was speechless. This is just a box of pastries. The family soldier had no clue what was going on. He could only loudly repeat what Yu Shi had told him. That won't do. Rules are rules. Zhonwan was dizzy with anger. His hand shook as he picked up a teacup and took a few sips. The family soldier added, "But after seeing this box of pastry, our heir most likely did feel quite pleased. So, he also said that if young Master Zhon behaves well in the future, he might reduce the time from once every 10 days to once every 9 days. Zhonwan. Young prince, you really knew when to reward and punish people." The family soldier strictly stated, "This one would have to ask young master to take back this item, but there is no need for young master to be gloomy." This one specially asked Yu Shizi, and Yu Shizi said that after only 5 days, young master can send over this box of food again. Zhonwan said helplessly, "It can't wait 5 days. In another day, these pastries will go bad." The family soldier froze. "But the rules were set this way. Is there anything else young master wants to explain?" Zhonwan shook his head. "I have nothing to say." The family soldier knelt on one knee, then stood up and left. Zhonwan stared at the box that had been returned. He was speechless for a long while. He was exhausted and stressed, spending every day worrying about Yu Shi, but what was Yu Shi doing daily? First, disregarding this. If in the future, Yu Shi married a young princess consort Yu, would he create so many regulations for his own princess consort too? The night of the wedding, Yu Shi would set rules for his princess consort with a stormy expression: "Every 10 days, you may lay in my bed with me. Anything else is closed for discussion." After 10 years of marriage, if princess consort Yu behaved well, Yu Shi might give her an additional benefit: "From now on, every 7 days, you may come see me once." After 20 years of marriage, princess consort Yu might be blessed enough to hold hands with Yu Shi once. 30 years after marriage, Yu Shi would finally accept exchanging a kiss. Previously, Zhonwan had heard that some people like to take things slow in certain regards. But he had never expected that anyone could be as slow as Yu Shi. According to the speed, if they could only kiss after 30 years, then. What about that? What was Yu Shi's plan? Near the end of their days, Princess Consort Yu would broke through the barrier, successfully passing Yu Shi's decades of tests. After overcoming all difficulties, she would finally earn Yu Shi's trust and would be permitted to, with him. This was truly using one's entire life to test a single person. Zhonwan thought in despair. In Yu Shi's mind, perhaps that most intimate act could only be performed once in a lifetime. In an entire lifetime, only having sex once. Zhonwan trembled as he opened the box. He took a bite out of one of the pastries and muttered, "Young Prince Yu has truly placed too much importance on his first time." End chapter. Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 37. After he had someone send away the pastries, not even 30 minutes later, Yu Shi threw aside the book, visibly distraught. He furrowed his brows. Did they send it away yet? If not, then forget about it. Thinking Yu Shi was annoyed that the servants were too slow, Steward Feng rushed into the room to say, "We've sent it away, we've sent it away. No one dares to delay." Who would have known that after Yu Shi had heard these words, his expression would grow even more unsightly. Frightened and on edge, Steward Feng said, "Yu Shizi, what's wrong? What's wrong?" What else would it be? He was regretting it. Steward Feng had guessed this but dared not express his thoughts aloud. After a moment of consideration, he tried to console Yushi by saying, "Yushi is too strict. Young Master Zhou merely sent over a few things, yet you also forbid it." Yushi felt restless. In a soft voice, he said, "I'm afraid that if I indulge him too much, he would soon." Steward Feng said, "Would soon what?" Yushi said with indifference, "He would soon take it to the next level." Steward Feng cursed in his heart, "If you're unwilling, who would dare to take it to the next level?" Yushi picked up another book, sat down and flipped a couple of pages. Annoyed, he asked, "Did you open up the meal box to see what's inside?" Steward Feng nodded in a daze. "I did." Indifferently, Yushi asked, "How'd it look?" Steward Feng was shocked but stammered his answer, It's different from what we usually eat. The pastries weren't as fine as the ones our cooks make, but smelled fragrant." Yushi drew his brows together. "Since it smelled so good, why didn't you tell me?" Steward Feng was struck speechless. Then he expended a lot of energy to say, "Yushi often avoided evil influences in such a way, so this old slave thought you would not allow yourself to smell those pastries." With his 5 viscera and 6 bowels uncomfortable, Yushi turned around and did not speak again. Since Yushi did not explain anything, Steward Feng retreated. A few days later, the servants of the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate stood frightened to silence, fearing that if they were not careful, they would incur young Prince Yu's anger. On the third night, a trusted aide of Yushi had an urgent message for him. Previously, Steward Feng had informed this trusted aide to remember that no matter what, he must not utter the word pastries. The trusted aide was baffled by this but he agreed. Yushi was asleep then, so once he was woken up, his expression was unsightly that it terrified others. His hair was in disarray, gaze as cold as ice as he stared down this trusted aide. "What is it?" This was someone that Yushi had inserted by Xianqiang's side. If it wasn't something important, he wouldn't have come. The trusted aide saluted and rose to his feet. "Last month I informed Yushi that 5th Prince went through numerous twists and turns before finding those few servants who had kept watch in the royal mausoleum." Yushi impatiently said, "So what? Did you finally find those people?" The trusted aide nodded. "This subordinate is incompetent. 5th Prince hid those people in a place that was very hard to find. Many times, I was at a loss. For 1 month, I was unable to unearth any clues. But today, for some reason..." The trusted aide hesitated, before saying, "A clue suddenly appeared. The 3 servants who used to watch over the royal mausoleum were all brought away." Anger flaring in his chest, Yushi exclaimed, "What?" The trusted aide also could not wrap his mind around it. This time, 5th Prince was especially careful. Even Prince Yu did not know he had hidden these people. Because 4th Prince was still investigating, at most 4th Prince would pick up a few things, but there would not be any more people who were aware of this. However, during Yanxi, before the sky could brighten, guests arrived at the estate. Once these strangers closed the door, they spoke with 5th Prince for a little while. Then, after they had exited, 5th Prince paled and did not speak for a moment. Those people brought 5th Prince's trusted aide to the edge of the city to a pawn shop. The 3 servants from the royal mausoleum were actually hidden in the basement there. After that, those people who met with 5th Prince and the trusted aide left. Yushi frowned. The trusted aide said, "This matter is very strange. Our people and 4th Prince's people are both investigating in the dark, to bring those servants to our side. And 5th Prince treats these servants as if they're his lifeblood. 3 sides have competed for so long. Never would anyone have imagined such an unforeseen event to occur." Yushi sneered. "Who brought the servants to the pawn shop? Don't tell me you don't know. It's unclear what happened in the early morning." The trusted aide lowered his head in shame. Everyone in the estate was still asleep, and I did not dare to get up and investigate. Once the sky brightened, those people had already been moved. After one day of investigation, this subordinate discovered that those people who came to speak with Fifth Prince were the Emperor's close imperial guards. Shock collided with Yushi's form. He had long since ordered to capture those 3 servants alive. The trusted aide feared carrying the responsibility of failure and said, "Yushizi, this matter doesn't make sense." 3 sides aimed to capture the same people. No one dared to allow any bit of information to spread in fear of this matter blowing up. Perhaps those at the top found out, or Fifth Prince was anxious to silence people, or something. So, who's the one behind this? This subordinate is always in Fifth Prince's estate and doesn't have much communication with Yushizi. Could there have been someone by Yushizi's side who accidentally did something they should not have done? Yushi's expression darkened. "I never ordered anyone to do anything." Dispirited, the trusted aide said, "Then this subordinate is unsure." At this moment, 3 sides are fighting in the dark, and all of a sudden, someone swept everything clean. "It wasn't me or Xianqian," muttered Yushi. "Who else could it be?" The trusted aide could not figure it out. This subordinate is incompetent. At present, His Majesty has already acted. Gales and showers can wash everything clean. In this way, this will become an unresolved case. Yet, although this subordinate is not exonerating myself, Yushizi, this is the most advantageous result for us. Cold as ice, Yushi said, naturally. In the beginning, Yushi absolutely wanted them alive. But that was because he wanted to inquire carefully about past events. However, if those servants fell into the hands of Xianjing or Xianqian, they would be the sharp weapons in which to deal with Yushi in the future. Nevertheless, the trusted aide still did not give up. He summoned all his courage and asked, even if this subordinate dies 10,000 times, this subordinate would still ask Yushizi once more, "Does Yushizi have other people in Fifth Prince's estate? Because this matter seems like something done by our people." Yushi did not grow angry. He shook his head. "I don't have any other spies there." A wave of relief washed over the trusted aide. But then he grew worried again. This subordinate is unsure if these are merely groundless fears, but after this incident, this subordinate feels that a new force has risen in the capital. Yet it's unclear who they are. Yushi's expression turned gloomy. A long while later, he sneered. "Don't know. However, these people are really not upright and honest, flipping the chessboard when defeat was inevitable. Such an approach is a bit wild." Worried, the trusted aide said, "Originally, this subordinate thought that after Third Prince's passing, the situation at the capital would clear up. Unexpectedly, a new force had appeared. How interesting. Carefully investigate." From the start, Yushi wanted to muddy up the water even more. He didn't care just how many people wanted the throne. "Take note of a few things. I want to know who's interfering." The trusted aide kowtowed, stealthily retreating. In Prince Qian'an's estate, Zhongwan lay in bed weak and sickly, listening to Xiankangxin nag at him. These past few days, Zhongwan kept leaving the estate. Although after Xian Rui had left, no one paid attention to them anymore, he still was careful. Every time he left the estate, it would either be early in the morning or late at night. Whenever it was the coldest, he would go out, and after repeating this for a few days, he fell ill. At night, he suddenly got a fever. After drinking 2 servings of medicine, he recovered a little. All along, Xian Yu had taken care of Zhongwan by his bedside. He listened to Xiankangxin admonish Zhongwan. Once he grew bold enough to help explain for Zhongwan, he received Xiankangxin's admonishment as well. A wet towel lay on Zhongwan's forehead. He pursed his chapped lips and smiled. "Young miss has been admonishing me for so long. Aren't you thirsty?" Xiankangxin frowned. "No." "Well, I am." Zhonwan used a lot of energy to smile. A sigh escaped his lips. May I trouble young miss to give me a cup of tea? You're eating medicine. How could you drink tea? Xian Kangxin ordered people to give Zhonwan a bowl of white fungus soup. Once you've drank your medicine, drink this soup. Zhonwan smiled. After drinking that bowl of soup, he felt a lot more comfortable. You were going out a lot these past few days, whispered Xian Yu. Were you meeting with Quafu? Although Zhonwan was sick, as soon as he had heard those words, he became more lively. He smiled and whispered, yes, otherwise why would I go out when it's so cold? Admiration flashing in his eyes, Xian Yu asked, did you coax her? Not yet. Zhonwan sighed. Carelessly said, it'll probably be hard to do so even after 3 to 5 years. Startled, Xian Kangxin said, just what kind of person did you fall for? Zhonwan couldn't help but laugh. I'm just talking nonsense. It won't be that hard to coax them. Yet Xian Kangxin found it hard to believe. I still hope you marry a wife soon, and then we return to Jianan together. You. What kind of luck do you have to bump into such a person? What did I bump into? A southern wall. Zhonwan smiled. Enough. Young miss has lectured me for a while. There are germs in the room, so you people should not be here. Return to your own courtyards. Deflecting and coaxing the brother and sister pair to leave, he said, haven't I already woken up? After I lie down for a few more days, I'll be better. After the third set of 7 days, there'll be no need to kneel daily anymore. Xian Yu, you ought to study. I'll quiz you later. Now go. Expending a lot of effort, he removed his wet inner garments and changed into a new set. He lay down on the bed, a deep sigh escaping him. To consolidate the manpower imperial preceptor she had left behind for Zhonwan was harder than he had expected. The will of people changed easily. Imperial preceptor she had been gone for many years. The great kindness of the past was unable to withstand the ravage of time. The people remaining who would sincerely rush about to help Zhonwan numbered few. Moreover, some people were either led away by the riches and honor before them or were obstructed by their houses full of their children. Zhonwan did not blame them. Even if one used a previous grace to coerce them to help, in the end, it was imperial preceptor Shi's grace. Zhonwan was only his student. He did not have that kind of reputation. Thank goodness that although there weren't that many people he could use, the ones he could were loyal and capable to the extreme. This time, they had resolved that matter of those royal mausoleum servants very straightforwardly. At present, Xian Qian had no choice but to suffer in silence. He absolutely would not dare to make the matter public. Zhonwan rubbed his sore shoulder. A low laugh escaped his lips. Bit by bit, one step at a time. He knew his body was frail. As such, he didn't dare to fight too hard. For now, he had to pause probing into Yushi's background. After he recovered from his illness, that would be a different story. He recuperated in bed for a few days. While on Yushi's side grew all the more anxious. A little servant girl who attended to Yushi timidly glanced at him. Trembling, she held a bowl of lotus seed soup for him. Steward said that Yushizi is suffering from a bit of excessive internal heat and needed. Without even lifting his head, Yushi said, take it away. Steward Feng had rushed the little servant girl over here. So, she dared not leave. Voice quivering, she said, in these past couple days, the corners of Yushizi's eyes have grown red. It really is from excessive internal heat and must be. Scram, said Yushi, cold as ice. The young servant girl quivered even more. The internal heat in Yushizi's heart is too strong. Relieving it is a must. If Yushizi does not drink the lotus seed soup, Steward Feng will summon an imperial physician, or perhaps Yushizi wishes to eat something else that does the job. Sweat pear soup. Powdered root of lotus soup. All of a sudden, Yushi said in a low voice, 10 days. The little servant girl jumped from shock. She blinked and asked, what? 10 days. Yushi seemed to be talking to himself. He hasn't come or sent any pastries over. She saw that Yushi was starting to speak nonsense again. She grew even more afraid. Timidly, she asked, what pastries? Yushi said in a daze, I don't know. I didn't even had the chance to smell them. Yushizi has excessive internal heat. It's better not to eat pastry. The little servant girl smiled dryly. However, if Yushizi wants to eat it, then we'll serve them. What does your honored self want? This. This slave will have someone make it immediately. What went through his mind was anyone's guess. At that moment, his pupils constricted, then he hoarsely said, Osman thus cake. The little servant girl quickly sounded her acknowledgement, turned around, and left. It was uncertain whether Yushi heard her or not. Once again, he said near whisper, we've agreed on it. We've already agreed on it. Osman thus cake. Yushi was practically fuming with rage and said through gritted teeth. We've clearly agreed on it already. Once every 10 days, he would come visit. It's been 10 days, but he hasn't come, hasn't come. He closed his eyes, adjusting his breathing. He didn't want to be like this. Previously, Yushi had already decided that he would not do anything drastic for the next few months. He's been held back. So many issues to deal with. Xian Rui, this useless person. He's been held back by Xian Rui. He's been held back by Xian Rui, mumbled Yushi, without realizing it. After a while, he actually calmed down. Yushi took a deep breath. And he slumped into his chair, devoid of energy. He wanted to lie down for a moment. After standing, he caught sight of a servant girl just as she cheerfully and diligently brought a plate of Osman thus cake inside the room. Yushi's gaze changed in a flash. He clenched his teeth so hard that creaks could be heard. The 10th day has already arrived. He didn't come. He had never taken this matter seriously. With large strides, Yushi left the room, startling the little servant girl immensely. Flustered, she set down the plate of Osman thus cake and rushed to find Steward Feng. But there was no way she could outrun Yushi. Once Steward Feng had heard the news, Yushi had left the prince's estate long ago. In Prince Qian'an's estate, Zhonwan covered his mouth and nose, placing the pastries that Xian Kengxing gave him back into the meal box one at a time. It was as if he were afraid of burning himself, covering his hand with a handkerchief as he arranged the pastries neatly in the meal box. From start to finish, he did not allow his bare fingers to touch the pastries. It wasn't until he closed the lid of the meal box that Zhonwan removed the handkerchief from his hand. He took a couple breaths in comfort. Just as he was about to call a servant over, he heard someone pound at the door. Zhonwan furrowed his brows. What could have happened at this time? A servant in Zhonwan's courtyard opened the door. In no time at all, someone pushed open the doors to Zhonwan's room. Yushi seemed to have come here by horse, his hair was in disarray and the collar of his top was creased. Zhonwan stared blankly. Why are you here? Yushi stared straight at Zhonwan, attempting his best to suppress the flames of anger in his heart. Meanwhile, Zhonwan realized that Yushi's expression seemed strange. He thought, were my secret actions discovered? But it didn't seem to be that way. He studied Yushi's appearance. In disbelief, he thought that for some reason, Yushi looked as if he had suffered from an enormous amount of unjust treatment. What happened? After Zhonwan had asked this in a soft voice, his only response from Yushi was rough breathing. As if he were trying his best to suppress something. Zhonwan had been shut indoors in this house for many days. Because he couldn't be blown by the wind, the windows could not be opened, and he feared he would infect Yushi with his illness. Why don't you head for the antechamber first? I'll immediately follow. Before he could finish speaking, Yushi's eyes reddened in an instant. Such a sight shocked Zhonwan. This person. The corners of Yushi's lips tilted up slightly into a smile of ridicule. What? Are you scared of me? Or do you dislike me? Zhonwan. Have you forgotten? Right. Only I remember. Only I was waiting. Forget what? The chill from Yushi made Zhonwan cough. He used a lot of strength to say, I've been sick for many days. If you stand there, in a little while you'll be infected by me. Yushi stared blankly. In a flash, his anger weakened by leaps and bounds. You're sick. Zhonwan coughed for a while. Afterward, he retreated 2 steps. Just listen to me first. Go to the antechamber first, all right? And the cough spilled out again. As he coughed, he used the table as support. But he did not forget to point his head away from the meal box. Yushi stared at him, his lips twitching. Let's just say I'm begging you. Please don't stand too close to me, Zhonwan coughed until he sweated all over. Xian Yu didn't listen to me and stayed by my side all day, so yesterday he got a fever. If you also do this. Before Zhonwan could finish speaking, his body felt light. After a bout of dizziness, he was placed on the bed by Yushi. Lying on the bed, Zhonwan thought with fear clawing at his chest, Did Yushi just carry me? Yushi raised the hem of his clothes and sat by Zhonwan's bedside. He closed his eyes. His expression in this instance recovered immensely. He lifted his gaze. All of a sudden, Yushi said, Zhonwan, don't you find the scene familiar? Zhonwan swallowed his saliva. Stammered, that year, it truly was you. It was me. I took care of you for half a month. There was anger in Yushi's eyes. You don't remember? Fine. I'll help jog your memory. Zhonwan, once you coughed, you started to sweat. Right now, your inner garment should be drenched too, right? Without thinking, Zhonwan replied, yes. Yushi looked up. Where are the clean inner garments? End chapter.